Recently, I've been talking about the wooden roller coasters at Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. As of now, we have covered the Voyage and the Legend, so now it's time to talk about the Raven, a CCI wooden coaster that doesn't get enough praise. Now, even though I said the Voyage and Legend were two of the best wooden roller coasters in the world, I honestly would also put Raven into that category. This coaster, just like the other two, doesn't mess around, and honestly has one of the best endings on any roller coaster in the world. I managed to ride this wooden coaster 7 times, with 2 of those being in the front and 5 of those being towards the back, because the back is where you want to sit on the Raven. Now, even though I absolutely adore this wooden coaster, it was my least favorite out of the 3 Woodies in the park, and that has nothing to do with the actual ride. Honestly, after my first ride on all 3 of these Woodies, I had Raven ranked as the best, and the reason why is for 2 reasons. 1, this is by far the smoothest wooden coaster in the park, and 2, it has the strongest airtime moment in the park. I know that sounds surprising at first, but you'll see what I mean once you get a ride. However, after more rides on Voyage and Legend, my opinion slowly changed, but the real reason the Raven is my least favorite out of the 3 is because it's the smallest and the shortest. It's only 80 feet tall and is a full 1,200 feet shorter than the Legend, which is the second shortest wooden coaster at Holiday World. This ride definitely feels the slowest and shortest out of the 3. By the time you leave the lift hill to the time you hit the brakes is very short, but it packs enough for it to be an incredible wooden coaster. To get things started, you dispatch out of the station and go through the maintenance shed, and after a small pre-section, you ascend the lift hill. When you reach the top, you go down the 85-foot drop into a tunnel. This drop, especially in the back, doesn't mess around. You get a great pop of ejector going down this drop, and if you're in the back, you even get some stomach-dropping airtime. When you reach the bottom, you soar through a tunnel and head up and twist to the right just a little bit before descending another small drop. You get a little bit of laterals on this twist and a small pop of airtime in the back row, but it really isn't anything memorable. After this, you pop up and enter your iconic turnaround over Lake Rudolph. In the front row, you get a good pop of airtime before entering the turnaround. The turnaround itself is pretty good. You get some good views, but the laterals aren't really anything to rave about. After the turnaround, you twist up into another small dip, which doesn't really do much unless you're in the back, but that doesn't really matter, because this sets you up for the best part of the ride. After this dip, you twist up and descend this giant drop into the forest. In the back row, you get a deadly pop of ejector, and going back to what I said earlier, this is the pop that I believe is the strongest pop of airtime at Holiday World. This pop is really good, especially at night, because after this, the rest of the ride is deep in the woods, so you can't see anything after this drop, while the first half is kind of out and towards the lake, so you can see some lights, but once you enter the forest, pitch black darkness. And after this, you enter the grand finale of the Raven, which is by far one of the craziest sections on any wooden coaster I've experienced. After the drop, you enter an ejector pop, which is really good and slam to the left. You then change directions and twist down to the right. After this turnaround, you go through a twisted airtime hill, which gives great floater in both the front and the back, and then twist up into the final brake run. As I said earlier, this ride doesn't mess around, similar to the other 2 Woodies. There are no dead sections on this ride that give you time to breathe. However, I would say this is the most enjoyable and easy to marathon Woody in the park, mainly because it's short and it doesn't take everything out of you like the Voyage and the Legend. The first half really doesn't do much, but it's enough for it to be memorable. The first drop is great, but other than that, the turnaround is the only other moment that's pretty good. The first half is pretty mediocre at best. It does have some good airtime pops here and there. The second half is what shines on this ride. I called this finale to this ride a blur, because after that third drop, you're just slamming side to side and getting thrown out of your seat left and right until you hit the brake run. And even when you hit the brake run, you can hear and feel the vibrations of the upstop wheels still spinning because of how fast and crazy the end of this ride really is. Every time I hit the brake run, me and my friends were just laughing because of how crazy the end of this ride really is. It truly is something special. Overall, the Raven is a fantastic wooden coaster, and while it may not be as crazy as the other ones, it sure packs a punch. So, that's going to do it for my review on the Raven at Holiday World. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more amazing content just like this every week. And also, don't forget to check out my other reviews on the wooden coasters at Holiday World, and make sure to check out my merchandise and podcast in the description down below. And also, check out my second channel, TPH Productions, for copyright-free off-rides and POVs. As always, this is Hunter from Theme Park Hunting. I'll see you guys later, and follow the thrill.